cheap. So like, how would like a husband, like you were saying, like that's like lean. You know, he doesn't really need to lose weight. You know, the kids are active. Everybody else in the house, and metabolism is just like on fire, and they can all eat whatever they want, right? How could the husband kind of, you know, like do some of the things that you were saying, you know, like help her to meet her macros without like making her feel isolated? Like, say for instance, like if I love whatever cereal or Twix. If I love Twix and you want to go out and you get some Twix, you know, and maybe you want to get me something that's like how you were saying you'll add jerky or something like that to it. Like, shouldn't they like try like learn things like that? Because if, say you come back with Twix for you and jerky for me, then it's like,
yeah,
you know, and I'm gonna eat the jerky,
right.
but I'm gonna be like mad. Like, so like, how can he help her without like going and getting like, not going out and like buying her favorite food and eating it in front of her face and then saying, but I got you this diet thing. You know what I mean? Like, so that it's still like a lifestyle for both of them. So that if he got the thing, she got it too. And I mean, I guess you kind of touched on it earlier when you were saying like add the stuff to it. But like, can you tell them like what are some of the ways that they can do that? Or like, you know what I mean? Because you don't do that to me. If you get something good for yourself, that maybe, because your macros are more lenient than mine, you can obviously eat more than I can because of you have more muscle mass and you weigh more. But you always like take care of me. You know what I mean? You make sure that I have, you know, here's your candy and here's your jerky, or here's this and here's your Greek yogurt or something like that. You know what I mean? And you'll let me know like, here, have this. Just make sure you eat this too.
Right.
And that way I don't feel left out of what y'all have. You know, when y'all stop at whatever Popeyes or somewhere and give me my biscuit.
Right. So I get, like I said, it just basically, you know, my recommendation is just eat the same. But I know that's not always going to be the case, right? So like, and the reason I say that is because I've had dear friends and we've had a lot of even clients that have, they eat differently than the rest of the family. And then the issue is also, in addition to finance, I mean, like financially, like,
it's expensive.
Like if you go on Jenny Craig or like one of those type of systems, you're going to buck out. You're going to spend like 130, 150 bucks a week in addition to your family's
groceries.
Right. So I mean, if it's 150, you're spending 300 bucks a week. It's just crazy. So I long term, I would recommend everybody playing on the same field, essentially.
Because we do. Our whole family eats the way that I eat. Just
right,
like
and I don't think my teenager loves having chicken breast at night sometimes, but you know that's just the way it is. Sometimes
he doesn't want chicken breast, but the quinoa.
Yeah.
He just doesn't put it on his plate. He just don't put it on his plate. But that's fine because we have other stuff there, you know, or that he can have too. But yeah, like in general, the whole family eats the same. We can go to the same places. We know the things. I'll eat it like Popeyes. You know, they'll have the fried chicken. I'll have the. But
also that's just for the children. That's developing them and their mindset into a healthy, balanced diet. Anyway, but short term, if you are trying to not make them, I think by bringing them something that's diety, you're gonna make them feel.
Like they're on diet.
They're going to feel isolated. They're going to feel some type of way. And I wouldn't recommend that. So what I would recommend is maybe even me. I picked up a couple of days cooking. Mm-hmm. And what I've done is I've made it my personal challenge to produce a macro-friendly meal. One that meets, at first it was just your goals.
Right.
But now it's our overall family's goals because like I said, the overall end goal is for us to eat together. For grocery budget in addition to for health, you know.
I think a big, like, the biggest blessing of that I didn't even realize until afterwards, and this is why it's like I'm like everybody's husbands need to get on board because, like, ladies, we can get like really strict with stuff if we need to, and we're like I just need to eat super clean, and that is how I will eat my goal. I'll reach my goals, and then you know the guys feel like it just makes them feel the opposite. Like, well, I'm not going to eat that stuff. I only want to eat junk. But if you can get involved, you're, like, a lot of times you're so much more creative than we are. You know what I mean? Because we're going to be, like, tilapia and asparagus, like, and brown rice every day or whatever. Like, we're just going to think like that because we're just, like, what's the simplest way that I can just like knock this down? And because that's what we see all over social media and stuff. Like, we're not bodybuilders, we're families. Okay, so if you're a bodybuilder, you know, that's fine. You probably already got this on lock. You can go watch somebody else's 30-minute video.
Right.
But for families, that part doesn't make sense. And in the long run, you're gonna need to eat stuff that tastes good.
Yeah.
And that's where the guys come in,
Yeah.
because a lot of times we make stuff that we're like, it's doable, I can stomach it, it's cool, it's gonna help me reach my goals. And they're like, you gotta be kidding me.
Right.
You know, and your kids are like, come on, like, where's the real food? And so then everybody's like anti whatever you're doing, because they feel like, you know, like, your stuff is so extreme and so bland and so nasty. And him being involved has really brought like so much flavor back into our lives and our meals. And you know, and granted, when I had more time on my hands, I tried to be as creative as I could so that the whole family would enjoy the meals. But he finds like things that I wouldn't expect, you know what I mean? And it helps me to be able to eat things that I would think like, man, there's no way I could ever fit that, you know? And it's partially because he's better at math than I am, so that's where being the macro master comes in, because to me, I'm just like, there's no way that I can't fit that. And he'll be like, well, if you do this, and you add this, and you add this, and that's where we need them, because you will figure out how to get flavor into that meal.
Oh, I'm going to get flavor.
Not gonna eat something
I'm not
that's
going to, no, I'm not going to eat bland. Let's get that straight. I'm not going to eat bland almost any day, actually any day of the week.
Ever.
I go to Popeyes like probably, you know, twice a week sometimes, and I eat the biscuit, and I eat part of my, half the fries at least. So like, you know, I'm always searching to make it
and
very tasteful, but yet hit our nutrition
goals. If you've
goals.
ever seen his diet, like I know he doesn't like have a ton of friends or whatever on food, but if you ever look at his diary, he's a Big Smits _ Smits. He's like eating, you know, and I don't know this half the time, so I look at his stuff. He's eating Five Guys. He's eating, you know, whatever Firehouse subs. He's going to Popeyes. He's going to Chick-fil-A. He's a big lunch guy. I've talked about that before in some of my videos. He's a big lunch guy, and I'm not. So, like, when we're not together, he's taking full advantage of that lunch, and he's eating something that typically we would think, like, there's no way I can eat that. But at the end of the day, he makes it work. And that's with our, like, nightly, like, Netflix time where we're, like, you know, munching down on stuff.
Right. So, basically, just to follow up on that, like, Kiki and I discussed a while ago, like, what meal for us was, like, non-negotiable, right? And for her, it's like usually breakfast. She really likes breakfast. She likes a carby breakfast. She wants a donut. She wants a scone.
Carbs equal breakfast. Period.
And she hates protein for breakfast.
I don't want an egg. I don't want.
Right,
No.
and she hates protein for breakfast. And I'm actually, lunch is my big thing. Like breakfast, I could
skip it.
I could
He
be
could
like
have
intermittent
eggs.
fat. I could, you know, or just eat like a yogurt or barely eat anything for breakfast.
He doesn't care about breakfast at all.
Or if I do eat breakfast, it's not that big of a deal to me. It doesn't matter what it is. And because of that, I'll just eat like a couple pieces of turkey bacon or something like that. You know, because I could go with or without. I just try to get a little extra protein at the beginning of the day. Or maybe even like our Trader Joe's yogurt, you know, which has good even macros, gives me like 14 grams of protein as well. But lunch, man, there's no compromise on lunch. I want lunch. I am a lunch guy. I like club sandwiches. I like
He's a sandwich guy.
I want a French dip. I go to Jason's Deli. I get the beef eater. My lunch are typically probably like 500 to 800 calories.
Like a dinner.
But then once again, and then back to dinner. Like dinner doesn't really.
Neither one of us.
Me and her, or
dinner,
you know,
so.
It's the end of our day. We're just like, you know, and that's when
it's
we
just
usually,
a prelude to dessert.
Sure.
I
And then our desserts, we have every single night.
Yeah.
Every single night.
We're gonna close out the night with our like veg time in front of the TV. We're watching something and we're just like, you know, whatever, popcorn, whatever. We're gonna have dessert and snacks at night. So that's why we both agreed that dinner wasn't like, you know, it is what it is. That's why it's just kind of, like I said, it's a prelude to dessert, and it's just another way.
Sure. So that's basically, I challenge everybody to just, you know, narrow down what your meal is, and then kind of build your day around, you know, build your MFP pie chart or around around that meal. You know what I mean? So that's what I would recommend doing. Yeah.
Okay. So, and like I said, we can always go into more detail if you guys really want us to, but I just really wanted to pin him down while I had him, like, no distractions, no basketball games, no kids, no nothing, just me, him, and a bunch of hours before the next session of the conference starts. So, to close out this particular session, I want to ask you, how do you think that you becoming, involved in this has helped our relationship?
Oh man, it's
like, I mean, I know like the food and the workouts aren't everything. Like, obviously there's
right.
more to a relationship than like
Sure.
hitting your macros.
I just go back to this thing. I think I'm just a little bit more in tune, because I'm getting to know you on a different level. Just what you're digesting, literally. You know what I'm saying? So I am just in a little more in tune. We have to communicate a lot more because typically my work day, it starts with her work day. We work out together, and then of course we're eating most of our meals together. I'm typically trying to provide that because I am the macro master. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make it all work. So it really does help out our relationship. Every couple bickers back and forth about what we're going to eat and stuff like that. But ultimately,
especially when one of them's like trying to hit a physique goal,
right?
And one of them isn't,
right?
Like.
Yeah. It could get pretty bad.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And before I was trying to hit a physique goal, it was a little bit more challenging.
Right.
But like I said, the whole being in tune, guys. Like me actually starting to work out with her. I do yoga now, so I do yoga a couple of days a week with her. Don't judge me, guys. Don't judge. But and that's for my overall mental health and over my overall physical health. That is one thing that really helps me. But anyway, to get back, just like I said.
Well, I've told the story before about Firebirds.
Oh God, yeah.
And me, breaking down in the restaurant, like, oh my gosh, he's eating the salted caramel brownie with that, like, Like, we don't have those moments. Like, it's never.
No, never.
Never. Like, everything, because, like, as much time as we spend together now, like, before when we used to, like, when we were younger, when we would have, like, a random day or two weekend, a band together, like, it would be, like, every meal was, like, a buffet. Like, every meal was, like, an all-out feast. Sure. Because, like, you really didn't care about whatever. You just wanted everything to taste good. Yeah. And I just wanted to be able to spend time with you. Right. But then as that started, like, kind of backfiring on me, it would make me have animosity towards you. Like, gosh, you just always want to eat junk, and why are you like this? And you're ruining, what I'm trying to do, and why aren't you? You know what I mean? So I just feel like, I feel like it's brought us so much closer because, I don't feel like we're at odds. Right. I don't feel like you're a saboteur, even though you were never trying to be a saboteur. You were never purposely like, she will not lose that 5 pounds, here's a cake. You weren't trying to do that. But it just started feeling like that. It started feeling like you were, like it was me and she.
I remember that Firebird incident where she broke down and cried at a restaurant because I was eating a brownie. But, at the time I was like, you're freaking, whoa. Wacko. But now I can look back and it's very humorous, but I could see that being an issue. But in hindsight now, I could have, because we have a little more discipline with our diets and stuff like that, we could have very well even ordered that, made it work, and even ate like a quarter of it. Right. And obviously we had a teenage son. He would have gladly ate the rest. So I mean, like, just
and we could have known ahead of time.
Just knowing,
more of the salmon and less of the potatoes because we're gonna have
exactly.
This
and I think too many times we label food as bad or not good, and that's not the case, and that's not reality. In moderation,
you need to be able to eat the birthday cake. You need to be able to have sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie if you're white at Thanksgiving.
I don't talk about the pumpkin pie. No, I'm just kidding.
So you need to be able to have those things, you know what I mean? You need to be able to like go on vacation or like how we are now, you know, and go out today and like I had a patty melt, which I mean like
I'm proud. She had a patty melt. She
never-
had a good lunch. She had a good lunch.
Actual
And I had my club sandwich.
burger and bread and all that,
Right.
you know, and it's like, but we can do that.
Right.
And we can relax and we can go and have lattes in the middle of the day. And there's so many parts of the day that are good. And because we balance it out, you know, during the parts of the day that we're kind of blah about, it's just like, it just brings us both close. Because if you're not thinking about it, then I'll think about it for you. When I'm not, you think about it for me. You know what I mean? If I'm like sick or something, I know that you're going to take care of me. You know, and I don't have to get sicker worrying about like this.
Yeah, and then come back from your sickness like I just fell off the wagon.
Right.
And how am I going to pick myself up? You know, like I said, sometimes.
Or when I'm having a busy week.
Well, sometimes you're down like 7 days.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, even last week you were down like 5 days with a migraine.
Right.
You know, and that just
somebody has so far
right. Somebody has to be in tune and be there for you to make sure that your nutrition goal is being your nutrition goals are being hit, so that you don't wake up like feeling worse.
Right.
From something
like
that was catastrophic already. You know what I mean?
So it's something, guys, to keep in mind. You know, maybe your wife doesn't have endometriosis or isn't down for 7 to 10 days a month with migraines or whatever, but she has something going on. You know, or whatever. If it's the wives and you're not supporting your husbands, you know, same thing. We all have things going on. So it really helps to just be there for the other person and to really just try to understand what they're going through and understand that when someone is trying to change the way that they eat, that's a huge lifestyle change. And in the beginning, some of the things that you're doing may not come natural to you, which means they're going to require some willpower. You know, they're going to require parts of you that you're giving to other things. So if your wife or husband is, you know, like they're trying to change something like incorporate more protein, but they also like just started a new job, or, you know, or they just had a baby, or, you know, they're babysitting somebody else's kids during the day, or they're homeschooling 5 kids, or, you know, they just got a promotion at work, or they have to travel a lot for work, or they just have like so many other stressful things going on top of this lifestyle change that they're trying to make. If you can help at all by, you know, having good macro-friendly things within their line of sight, or, you know, grabbing the things for them when they can't grab them for themselves, instead of bringing home, you know, their default things, or balancing those default things for them, like noticing how many grams of carbs this has and maybe matching it for them with protein, or just asking them, what can I do to help you with this in a way that doesn't make them feel like, you know, they're separate from the family. Because it has to be something like, for this specifically, if your wife is having you watch this, then she's trying to incorporate the eat more to weigh less lifestyle, which it's a lifestyle. And if it's not something that they're going to continue doing forever, they're not going to be able to stick with it. They're going to keep being miserable, and you're going to keep looking at them like, well, just go on a diet. Do what you can to help. You know, we will put out more videos like this if it helps you guys, and to give more tips to you on how to work together, and more tips on like some of the things that we talked about, like deciding which meals, you know, are make or break for you, and how to incorporate them when you're either spending time together, or, you know, making the most of them when you're not together, so that when you come together, you know, one person's not like maxed out,
right,
and the other person, like, you know, like is like, well, hey, I've been saving up all day because I wanted to do this. So if you guys do have requests, then let us know, and we will do more like this. But we just wanted to give you that little tidbit while I got him here to talk to you guys. Macro Master, if your husbands need training on how to do your macros for you, he's the guy. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.
Peace.
Bye.